Hello, and welcome back to Just an Opinion Movie Review. Today's movie, which is not a movie, so like last week we talked about a game, so this week we're going to talk about a manga series. Now I'm going to give up this manga is somewhat dark, and I lose it. To me, it's not dark, but some people might find it not to the liking. So there's a little about rape. I don't know what the word is for it's not gonna make sense up front, but to making love to dead corpses, stuff like that. And also the other thing is I don't believe not a lot of people have talked about this anime, or just not anime, but this manga. So I usually don't give up say a spoiler warning, but I'm definitely gonna talk about the whole series. It's only 8 volumes, so if you don't want to be spoiled on it, you probably should click off now. Those who have stayed, welcome to another Just an Opinion movie review. And today's movie review is Destiny Lovers. Now, some people might go, Destiny Lovers, what the hell is that? So, what it is it's a boy, and I'm not good with Japanese names, so I'm just gonna say main protagonist. I'm gonna give like generic titles because I'm not good at Japanese names, so main character wakes up. He's being held against his will, and there's a girl trying to have sex with him. Now he's a virgin, and he gave his he told a girl when he was young that she would be his first. So this girl is like trying to have sex with him, and he keeps saying, "No, I'm not gonna have sex with you." Well, then a code goes off, and then the girl has to get off, and a bunch of other girls walk in, and then they take the main character to the cell where there's 4 other boys, ages from high school to mid-30s. So they all start talking, and they're like, "Wait, are we all virgins here?" So all the people in the 5 boys are virgins, and we find out that this place is the girls want to have sex with the guys, but they also find out that if they lose their virginity card, then they are set to be killed. And we'll find out later of why that is. So, the rules in the prison is they can't masturbate, and they can't. They have to do whatever the girls want them to do. So they it is. I've explained this through like two or three different the whole premise, and I was doing pretty good explaining. Now my brain just like broke on it. But anyways, they find that they try to escape, and that's where they find out that somebody gets shot and killed, and one of the girls shoots and kills one of the guys, not one of the 5 boys, but just some random guy. So that's where they're kind of like, oh crap, we need to make sure we don't get caught. But they end up being found out. They get thrown back in the cell, and then the girls go, hey no, we're cool. Just play some games, eat some good food, exercise. And what they don't realize, because the guys have their guard up, but what they don't realize is that what they're doing is they're making it more that they're stimulated to get an erection. This manga series is very heavy on the male penis. You'll definitely see a lot of it. You won't see any of the male penis, but you'll definitely see a bunch of boners and stuff like that. So the characters go kind of figure out like, okay, we can they have this big event where the girls like turn the temperature down, so it's like really cold. So like, okay, we got snuggle together, and yes, so just take it for like a grain of salt of like why they just can't get out, and they just go along, play along with it. It's a fantasy book, so I mean there's a lot of things that's just like, okay, this doesn't make sense. But the girls like turn the temperature down, they all sleep together, and then somehow they they're all able to hold out for the night, not have sex. So they're like, oh yeah. The girls are like, okay, well we'll be back tomorrow. Like, and guys are like, wait, what? Crap, we held out one night. I don't know if we can hold out a second night. So they all devise a plan to masturbate. But like I said, they can't masturbate because there's cameras all over the place. So the wardens will know, or the girls will be able to find out with the cameras. Now, what we also find out is that the warden, she is the love interest to the main protagonist. So like I said, when the main protagonist was a kid, he made a vow to the girl. And the girl is the warden. And so she kind of tells him vaguely of, hey, don't lose your virginity. So this is how we kind of know. So the guy, and she's like, don't tell the guys. So he's kind of like trying to relay the information to the guys without saying anything. But the guys kind of much figure it out. But I'm really drawing a blank here. This is not good. Well, I think I'm most statistics that most people leave after 5 minutes, so it's 6:17. So I'm pretty sure anybody who's still here, I appreciate it, but I'm pretty sure most of you are gone. They end up all masturbating. They secretly, the main protagonist can like do a quick shot. The other one, if he crawls, he can masturbate. The other one, he can do like, if he just does like a motion, he can do it. The other guy, if he swims, he can cause a scene but also masturbate. And then the other guy, one of the girls helps him. Now, we move on. There's there's an event that's coming up, and it's called prisoners, because now the girls are kind of getting like annoyed because it's been a couple weeks now. The girls are getting kind of annoyed of like what's going, like they gotta have these kids. Well, no, sorry, I ruined it. They have to make the guy lose their virginity, and usually they can do it within the first day or the first like couple days. But these guys are actually holding out. So they have a prisoner dilemma game. Now they all get put in separate rooms, and they go, oh well, we'll let 3 of you live. The first 3 to lose their virginity, we'll let 3 of you live. And the guy's like, the main protagonist is like, oh, this is a trap. None of us will do it. Well, one of the boys, he's a germaphobe, and so he and the one girl that was assigned to him, he's like, stay away from me. And that's why he's a virgin, because he hates, and he's in his 30s. And so he starts falling for this girl. He doesn't know why, but she helped him. The girl helped him masturbate in the pool. And so he's like, wait a minute, you're the first girl that I've ever met that I actually like. So if I have to die to be happy, I'll do it. And so they have sex, and then they come back and they're like, oh yeah, one of your buddies masturbated, and everybody's like, no, nobody did it. And then the 30-year-old goes, yep, that was me. And he tells the main protagonist, he says, I will find help. I will get help for you. He says it behind in a low voice. He's like, I will get you help. We will find. Just hold off. And so they send him out into the wild. He has a shocked face. We'll never see him again. The one thing is frustrating about this manga is that there's a lot of loose ends towards the end of this, and I'll explain what may be going to happen after this. So they're all in shock. Things get kind of sped up where another guy is like, yeah, okay, you know what? We're just gonna play a game. We're gonna play rock paper scissors strip, and whoever wins, we get the final rule. Or whoever wins gets the thing. Just to we either get to leave free or we lose our virginity. So they all agree. Now this guy, we don't know much about him. He's kind of the quiet one of the group. He's the one that got the keys earlier. I didn't say it, but they found keys, and he's the one that was able to break everybody out. So they play a game. The boys are basically winning, and then the quiet one, he ends up having to strip his pants off. And surprise, he has a gun. I don't know how he got it. He just has a gun. And so he goes, "All right, this game's over now. You the girls, you're not under arrest, but you're gonna do what I say." And we find out that he's not really technically. I mean, he's still a virgin by the rules of this manga, which I don't know how. He's technically a virgin, but he's technically not. He fucks dead corpses. He's a serial killer. He kills a woman, and then he has sex with the dead corpse. I think it's called necrophiliac. So, he basically finds out, he takes one of the girls hostage, he takes her to her room, and we find out that if a male has sex, then if a male is no longer a virgin, then they will turn into a monster. So basically the whole world is destroyed. And so the girls, what they're doing is they're taking the male and they're getting their seed and then having a baby and then being shipped off somewhere. So the one guy, the 30-year-old, he had sex with the one girl. She got shipped off to some place. We never see her again. We never hear anything about her again. So now the serial killer is going like crazy. He's like, well, fuck. If we're all dead here, then I can just kill everybody. Because if we have sex, we die. Or if we have sex, we become a monster, so technically dying. Or we're going to wait to be killed, so it doesn't matter. So then another guy somehow falls in love with this girl. And this girl's like, hey, we have to... say, the guy's like, I let me have sex with you. We need to save, our friends. So he sacrifices himself. He has sex. He loses his virginity, turns into a monster, and then kills the serial killer. So now the serial killer's dead, and then the one guy, he gets tranquilized, and then the girl who just had sex, she gets to go off to this island. Never see her again. We found out that the area is now compromised, so they take the main protagonist and the other two remaining guys to an island, and then the other girls get relocated, and then so we never talk. I think we see one of the girls one more time as like a quick short towards the end of one of the volumes, but it's technically really nothing. She's kind of like, I was too slow with going with the one guy, so I'm gonna try to go real fast with the next guy, and that's the last time we ever see of her. So now we're on this island, and now we introduce 5 new girls, and then we introduce 2 new guys. So now it's 5-5, and now the warden's back, but now she's a blonde. She was a brunette before, and now she's a blonde. So now the stakes are, hey guy. Now the warden tells everybody saying, hey, we have an antidote. Air quotes, an antidote to help the men from changing from after losing their virginity to from monsters. We can slow it down. But the catch is the girls and the guys have to work together and get points, because now, like I said, they're on an island. There's only one mansion that has all the food, all the water, all the supplies that they could ever have. But the girls are like, oh, so the point system is like, if you see a boob, it's like worth 5 points. If you have sex, it's worth like 100 million or like 100,000 or something like that. I don't remember exact the point system, but they do it. Or the girls are all men hating. They're all anti this group. The group as in the ones who are trying to get the baby, but they all hate men for their own unique reasons. One of them was an idol, and her fans got too touchy-feely, which in Japan I heard it's very more common than what it should be. I think it's getting better now. I mean, I can't speak to it, but from what I've heard, it's gotten a little bit better because they're taking things more seriously. But but she was rescued by, I think, one of the members of this anti men group. So the point system, like I said, it has to be worked between both boys and girls. But the girls say, no, we're not doing it. And one of the new guys is kind of a slime bag, and we'll get to it in a little bit. But it's like he was like built to just be an asshole. So over the course, they have to play the games. They play strip. Well, they play horse or chariot or something like that, where the boys and girls have to carry one person. They have to hold. They have like a thing around their head, a bandana, and the other team has to grab it. But then it turns into strip. Strip the panties, underwear off. Then the next game is a treasure hunt. Or no, I think it's treasure hunt and then wrestling or something like that, and then wrestling after that. And the treasure hunt is a boy and a girl team up, and whoever gets the points, we'll split it or something. And then we have the wrestling. But for the whole time, the girls are like kind of anti, and then all of a sudden a monster comes out. And so they're like, "Oh crap, there's monsters!" And the girls are like, "Well, they're definitely making us try to work with the girls are like the group. I think it's Saint something. The Saints. We'll just call them the Saints. The Saints are trying to make us work together, and I don't like that. We'll work on our own. So this monster, we hear a yell, and one of the girls, there's a guy and a girl on a cliff, and the monster's kind of like. Getting towards him, and then the one girl runs off, and the main protagonist is like, "Hey, wait, we gotta work together here." And she's like, "Well, don't be slow," basically. And so they get there. The girl acts stupid, gets her sister thrown off the cliff. I think they're sisters. I'm not quite. They say big sis once, so I'm like, okay, maybe they are sisters or something. But she gets thrown off the cliff. And then we don't see her for a while, and then the one girl gets the other girl, the girl who acted irrational gets punched. But then, I think so the monster looks at the main protagonist and says his name, and then jumps off the cliff, and we're like, okay, who? And what we find out is it's a character from the very beginning, before the manga, or before the guy gets abducted. He's walking with a friend, and his friend goes, "Oh, there's a pain in my chest," and so it's his friend, and but we don't find out till later. So we move along. The boys and girls are kind of starting to work together, but the sleazeball guy finds the sister who fell off the cliff, but she's lost all of her memory. So he's kind of like getting free points. He's kind of doing boob jobs and stuff like that. He does no penetration, but he kind of does a lot of stuff, so he gets points, so he can be able to buy stuff. Well, the boys end up finding out this, and like, hey, we can't have this. We can't cross the line here. So the guy's like, well, shit, if you tell the girls, I'm in trouble. So the guy runs off, and then we end up finding. Well, the boys take the girl back to the sister, or to the girls, and the girls are appreciative and like, well, let's go find this guy. So the guy, we find him later. He's dead, and the warden comes out and goes, hey, so that antidote isn't it's working, but if you guys don't have sex now, you're gonna die. But there's still a chance that you'll turn into a monster, but it's a 50-50 shot. And so one of the girls, the idol girl, kind of falls in love with the cop. The cop is the other guy who got introduced. So they're like, well, hey, I don't want you to die, so let's go have sex. And then the other girl who is starting to fall for the girl who is the leader of the bad girls, who the sister to the one girl, she goes, I'm falling in love with you, to the main character. Let's have sex. And then one of the boys who was with the main character at the prison is like, no, you can't do that. We'll run off. So he takes the main character's hand, and they run off, and then the girl follows, or back with them. Now the other character, the final character that I didn't mention, is a heavyset guy, and basically he's kind of like the kind of comic relief in a way. He wants to lose his virginity so bad, but even when the girls want to have sex with him, they don't want to have sex with me because he smells or something. So even if he tries to have sex, he can't. So that's him. And so he makes he makes a deal to the one girl. He's like, okay, well, if the cop guy doesn't turn after he has sex, will you have sex with me so I can stay alive? And she's like, well, and then this one girl's like, we'll see. So they end up getting to the two characters that ran off with the girl. They end up getting to a well, and then somehow, the one girl's like, you don't want to have sex with me, and the guy's like, it's not it. It's because I made a deal with this one girl, and then she steps on a rock, falls in the well, but takes the main protagonist and then the other boy down. So now they're in the well. The one girl's unconscious. The main protagonist wakes up, and then the other boy's up. He's like, hey, by the way, everything that was up there is a lie. The guy actually died to a poisoned fruit, and I was told not to tell you. And by the way, I'm gay, and so I've had sex with a bunch of men, but I haven't turned. So I'm like, wait a minute. So then you have sex, but I don't think he ever penetrated because he was always the girl, I think. So I guess that makes sense in a way. But even in my opinion, even if you don't penetrate, like if two guys have sex, even if the one guy doesn't penetrate the other guy, I'd still say that you're both not virgins anymore. But I guess if you want to say that your dick's still a virgin, I don't know. I'm fine with gay people. I just think that if two people have sex, regardless of who's on top, who's on bottom, you still both have lost your virginity. Okay, that's just my opinion. So they have the girl now wakes up, and so they're like, all right, well we're gonna have a duel. Whoever can get him harder will win his affection. So they actually have a pretty interesting duel. I mean, they're both like, the boy is rubbing the guy's dick, and the girl is like sitting on his face, riding him. So I mean, it's very tasteful. They don't make fun of being gay or anything. But the girl ends up winning, and then that's when the guy comes clean about the whole thing, and then he takes the fruit, and then he doesn't die, but he's unconscious now. And so now we find out that the whole thing was just a ploy. The cop now turns into a monster, but a monster that can remember his memories. So he comes and saves all three of them. The warden now saves the girl, and then now we or not the girl, sorry. The warden saves the boy who took the fruit. So now we move on to a different part. So this is volume 8. We're on volume 8, the last volume. Now we introduce another character, a guy who can have sex with any woman and he won't turn. So he's basically kind of a narcissist, like, yeah, I'm going to repopulate the world. So now he's going to come to this island. And so he comes to this island. He takes the warden, and then the volume ends with the main protagonist saying, I will find you, to the warden girl. And that's where we end it. So like I said, a lot of loose plot points left open. Like I don't think I said it in the I might have said it, but the guy who turned into a monster to save his friends, the girl who had sex with him was like, well, I'm gonna let you go into the wild, and maybe we can find a cure and turn you back. That never gets resolved. We never see what happens to the girls who go to the place to raise the baby. We leave on a cliffhanger, and there's support of the main protagonist, because the warden had her brain wiped when she came to the island, but she still could remember stuff. but now she's superhuman. So it's like, I don't know what the hell is going on with all that. But yeah, so my opinion is, I think, so the reason I find sex comedy fun to watch, I don't know why, I always find it interesting. So when I saw this, I looked up online. I mean, you can find this online if you want for a free read. It has full nudity except for like vaginal areas. That's kind of grayed out. But the breasts are exposed, so you see nibbles, everything. So I was like, okay. And then it's only 8 volumes. So I was like, and they're pretty reasonable price. I think they're like $13 a piece. So I was like, well, I'll read it. And so I actually got the first 4 volumes were pretty good. The last 4 volumes were kind of like a struggle. So if I was going to recommend the first 4, I'd probably say, I'd say a 4 out of 5. But with the later half, the new characters coming in are more annoying than anything. They don't get time to build, and I didn't really have a connection to any of them. The main girl on the second on the island, I mean, she was the one that had the most personality, and then her sister had the second amount. Her sister was like, "Hey, I'm down for not unlike, oh, I love to be straddled or whatever, but like, hey, I am down to help my team get points to feed my team and your team. Let's do this. No penetration, but we're gonna have to work together." So I mean, I like that character. And then, like I said, the main girl, I mean, she finally gets a little bit better because she doesn't know what love is, and once she figures out what love is, she stops hating the guys. The guy who I knew he was gonna be a slime ball from the moment he came on, because just the way he was designed, his look. I'm like, and the fact that he tries to do really shady stuff, I'm like, he's gonna be the guy who's like the slime who's gonna ruin everything, and essentially he does ruin most things. The cop, I mean, he was fine. He was kind of like an idiot type character. He wasn't stupid, but he was kind of like the dumb one. But his backstory is that when all the monsters were attacking, he was too afraid to help. So like he, when he's like, I will sacrifice my life to get these points so we can do something. So I mean, he was just fine. The idol girl, I mean, she had a pretty good story, and you can see why that she was like what she was. There's the other girl, I don't really know what her thing was. A lot of the characters in the beginning weren't bad. I mean, the guys in the prison weren't bad. But yeah, there's, like I said, there's a lot of nudity in it. If you want to read a book with a bunch of nudity, it is basically hentai, but or ecchi or whatever what they call it. But I mean, the first 4 volumes are good. So overall, I'd probably give it a 3. I mean, if you're interested in reading it, because I did leave some stuff out. Like I said, it's online. You can find it. I'm not gonna give the websites away just because, but I mean, you can find it. It's not But yeah. So like I said, there's supposed to be sequels. I can't find the sequels. I typed in the guy's name. I didn't search too hard, but I just tried to search for Destiny Lovers sequel or anything like that. I even try to figure and explain it to me, because sometimes I don't, understand reading it. Like I can more understand it if I hear it, like if watching an anime or TV show or movie. But like when I was reading, I was like, oh, maybe I wasn't reading it right. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. This is probably like the longest one I've had so far and it's a book series, but yeah, so tune in next week, or I have something, I don't know. All right, bye.